How's everybody doing today? My name is Braden, and this is Fogels Watching Movies, as you see my dog. But yeah, today I'm here to talk about my Blu-ray and 4K movie collection. I enjoy watching these collection videos on YouTube. I know most people post theirs in January, and we're approaching March, so I'm a little behind, but I am happy to be back on YouTube. I started a YouTube channel earlier in the pandemic and kind of got busy, so I'm happy to be back, having more time to record videos. And yeah, I have a movie collection that sits at about 650 right now, Blu-rays and 4Ks. I just recently got a 4K player this past Christmas, so I've been slowly building my 4K movie collection. As far as the rest of my collection goes, I usually like finding movies for a good deal. I hardly ever pay full price for a movie, unless it's something I really loved. And I used to travel a lot for work, so I would stop at, Dollar Generals, Big Lots, Dollar Trees, buy movies for cheap. If I liked them, I would keep them. If not, I would trade them in for store credits somewhere. But over this past 2-3 months, I've been shaving down my collection. I used to have 2 full shelves of movies, so I have shaved it down to 1 movie shelf. As you'll see, most of my movies have plastic sleeves on them because our 2 dogs shed a lot. With that said, let's get started with the letter A. And we have Accepted, which is a really fun comedy with Justin Long. Then we have the Ace Ventura double pack, which has Pet Detective and When Nature Calls. I've only seen Pet Detective. I've not seen When Nature Calls yet, but super funny. Jim Carrey's awesome. I have Aladdin on 4K, which Aladdin, probably like most people, is one of my top Disney movies. Then I have the Alien Quadrilogy, which I unfortunately didn't start watching until my mid-20s. And obviously those are classics. One of those films, you should have watched a lot sooner. Then we had Alien Covenant, which I've only seen one. I really like what they did with the alien in that movie. But yeah, between that and Prometheus, obviously I prefer the first 2 Aliens. I have Alita Battle Angel, which I know a lot of people wanted a sequel for that, and who knows if we'll ever get one. But I really enjoyed that movie. I know it didn't really do too well in theaters. Then we have The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one with Andrew Garfield, as well as The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield. I love Spider-Man. Obviously, after No Way Home, those kind of get redeemed a little bit. And then we have American Assassin on 4K. I've seen that movie once. I need to revisit it. We have the American Pie 4 movie collection. Those are dumb fun. Then we have American Psycho, another movie I watched way too late in life, and I love that movie. Christian Bale's amazing in that. We have American Sniper with Bradley Cooper. I like Bradley Cooper. That was a fun movie, obviously gut-wrenching at times. We have the Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds and Melissa George, pretty sure is her name. Only seen that movie once, but need to watch it again. Then we have Will Ferrell in Anchorman 1 and 2. I haven't watched these in a long time, but the first Anchorman is endlessly requotable. Great comedy. And then the last of my A's actually is Arrival with Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker. Great alien sci-fi movie. Okay. Now on to the letter B is my first Steelbook. We have Baby Driver, which I loved. I've only seen it once or twice though. We have the Back to the Future trilogy. Those are awesome. I got to those too late in life as well, but those are obviously up there in some of people's favorite movies of all time. We have the Bad Boys 1 and 2 collection, as well as Bad Boys for Life, which I enjoyed. Then we have Bad Times at the El Royale, which I've only seen once. Need to revisit that one. Next, we have Bad Words, which is a really underrated comedy, I think. I really like Jason Bateman a lot, so that one was really fun for me. We have the Batman 4-pack, the original ones, with Michael Keaton, and then Batman and Robin and Batman Forever were obviously not as great, but I like all Batman movies. So then we have Batman Begins on Steelbook, Batman Dark Knight on Steelbook. I'm just missing Dark Knight Rises on Steelbook, which is kind of hard to find. We have a two-pack of A Beautiful Mind and Cinderella Man, both with Russell Crowe in them. I've seen A Beautiful Mind, liked that movie. Have not seen Cinderella Man yet, just parts of it. This is the only Criterion Blu-ray I own, but this is Beauty and the Beast. The one that the Disney was based off of. And I watched it, and it is very interesting. But I would like to get more into Criterion's moving forward. Then we have Michael Keaton in Beetlejuice, which is a fun one. One my girlfriend and I just recently watched is The Belko Experiment, which is a lot of fun. I think it says on here, like, if Office Space meets Battle Royale, which I still need to see Battle Royale. But then we have Big Fat Liar, which is one from my childhood, Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes. And Paul Giamatti. Yep. I've not seen that one in a while. Then we have The Big Lebowski, Coen Brothers film. I've only seen that one once or twice, but really enjoyed it. And then we have The Big Sick, which is a pretty fun rom-com. I don't watch a whole bunch of these, but this is one I enjoyed with Ray Romano in that one. We have John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China with Kurt Russell. That one was fun. Then we have Birdman with Michael Keaton. Only seen this one once. Really like The Red Case and need to check that one out again, which I'm starting to realize I'm saying about a lot of movies. So maybe I'll just start watching all of them. Two-pack of Black Hawk Down and Tears of the Sun. I basically bought this for Black Hawk Down. Recently watched that, and it's a great war film. Then we have Black Coat's Daughter, which is an A24 film. I actually found this at a Goodwill and really enjoyed it. It's a very slow burn horror, but as it got towards the end, it got pretty creepy. So then we have a 3-pack of Blazing Saddles, Caddyshack, and European Vacation. I don't think I've seen Blazing Saddles all the way through. Caddyshack's a good sports movie, and I think I've seen European Vacation, but definitely need to get into more Mel Brooks films. So next is Blood Diamond, which is one of my good friend's favorite movies, so that got me interested in it. Watched it and enjoyed it. We have Bone Tomahawk, which is a Craig S. Zoller film, same guy who did obviously Bone Tomahawk. You got Dragged Across Concrete, and then you have Brawl in Cell Block 99. Very brutal movies, but I enjoy those. Then we have the Bourne Steelbook pack. So you see Matt Damon on the back of that. Not as big in the Bourne movies as other people, but I bought them to give them a chance. So then we have Boys in the Hood, which I just recently watched. Then we have Mel Gibson and Braveheart, which is a classic. Then we have the aforementioned Brawl in Cell Block 99 with Vince Vaughn. This is one of my favorite Vince Vaughn roles. I kind of like him playing a badass. He's great in comedies as well, but this really showed his range in acting, I think. Not that he acted that much in it, but I just liked his role in that movie. Then we have The Breakfast Club, John Hughes film, which is obviously a classic. We have Bumblebee, which I've seen once. I enjoyed it. Obviously, the Transformer films kind of fell off, and that one was a good one. And then we have Brothers with Tobey Maguire, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Natalie Portman. I really enjoyed Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal. Natalie Portman's good too. Very good drama. Then we have Bridesmaids, which is a comedy, pretty good comedy. That one's also very quotable. Then we have The Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher, which is a little underrated. I haven't seen it in forever. I remember watching this in high school. Then we have a DVD Blu-ray version of Buried with Ryan Reynolds, which is a very claustrophobic film. So that finishes off my B's. On to the C's, and I just opened a blind to maybe make the lighting a little better in here. So we have Cabin in the Woods, which is obviously a pretty popular horror movie. We have Casablanca, which I watched in the one film class I took in community college. Then we have Casino Royale, which is the only James Bond movie I own. We have Castaway with Tom Hanks, which is good. Cheap Thrills, which is a fun one. I found this at the Dollar Tree, and yeah, one you should definitely check out. It's not groundbreaking or anything, but it's dumb fun. Then we have Chef with Jon Favreau, who is amazing. I really enjoyed that movie. Then we have the first Child's Play, Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, and Bride of Chucky, which are the only Chucky movies I need. I was not a big fan of the Child's Play remake. I don't know. I get why some people liked it. It just wasn't for me. Then we have A Christmas Story. Following that with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We have City Slickers, which I've not seen a lot of Billy Crystal films, but I enjoyed that one. A Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick. I've seen this one once. Obviously, it's a classic. It's kind of weird and difficult to get through at times, but beautifully shot. We have the Cloverfield 3 movie collection. I owned Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane, bought this to kind of save on shelf space. I haven't seen Cloverfield Paradox. I haven't heard very many good things about it. But the first two are great. I prefer 10 Cloverfield Lane just because the found footage aspect of the first Cloverfield is kind of hard to tolerate at times, but both great. Then we have Clue with, why am I blanking on his name? Tim Curry. I love Tim Curry. And that's a fun movie. If you like Knives Out, then you would like that. We have The Collector and The Collection, which might be underrated. They're horror movies. Basically, if you took the concept of Home Alone and turned it into a horror film. We have Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. I don't know if I've ever seen that movie, but I like Eddie Murphy, and if I have seen it, it would have been back in childhood, so that's why I bought it, to rewatch it. Con Air, which is a good one. Nicolas Cage, obviously. Then we have the 2-pack film collection of The Conjurings. I think I had more fun with the second one, even though the first one's really creepy as well. Couples Retreat, which Jason Bateman and Vince Vaughn are in this. Jon Favreau as well. Fun comedies. Probably not the greatest comedies, but ones I enjoy. Then we have Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, which I've seen once and enjoyed it. And then we have the first Creed, Michael B. Jordan. Second Creed, and I look forward to the third one. Then we have a 2-pack of Crazy Stupid Love and Dinner for Schmucks. Enjoy both of these. I watched Dinner for Schmucks a lot in college, high school. Then we have Crawl, which is a very fun creature feature. If you haven't seen this one, check it out. And that's it for the C's. On to D's. We have Dawn of the Dead and Land of the Dead, 2 good zombie films. We have The Day After Tomorrow, Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid. I really enjoyed Dennis Quaid. Then we have Deadpool, the first one on 4K, and then Deadpool 2. And we have a 3-pack of Deep Blue Sea, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and Snakes on a Plane. I actually bought this to check out The Long Kiss Goodnight. I'd actually already seen Deep Blue Sea, which is a fun shark movie, and then Snakes on a Plane with Samuel L. Jackson's great, but I recommend The Long Kiss Goodnight if you haven't seen it. That one, all 3 of those have Samuel L. Jackson in there. We have The Departed, Detective Pikachu. I grew up with Pokemon, so I enjoy that one. The Die Hard collection, the first Die Hard, I joined that party way too late. It is a Christmas film. A great action movie, obviously. Dirty Dancing with Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, really enjoyed that. Disturbia, which has Shia LaBeouf in it. I enjoyed that one in high school, and it still holds up. You know, not over the top horror, but some thrills. Django Unchained on Steelbook, Quentin Tarantino, one of my favorite Tarantino films. Doctor Sleep, the follow-up to The Shining. I enjoyed this. It was kind of long, but I really enjoyed Rebecca Ferguson's part in this film. So then we have Dodgeball, which is a great comedy. Another Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller. We have Don John with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Scarlett Johansson. I saw that one once, bought it again to check it out, and have not checked it out since. We have the Arrow Video release of Donnie Darko, which my girlfriend had seen. I'd never seen it. We sat down to watch it, and I'm sure like most of you, I was pretty confused at the end, but need to watch that one again. We have Don't Breathe. I have not seen the sequel to that one. We have Draft Day with Kevin Costner. That's a guilty pleasure. I love the NFL, so. Then we have Drag Me to Hell, which saw once, and it was interesting, but I think I might watch it through a different lens the second time around, see if I enjoy it a little bit better. Then we have Dragged Across Concrete, another Craig S. Zoller film I referred to. And then the last D film is a two-pack with Dumb and Dumber and The Mask, both Jim Carrey comedies. I love The Mask. That was one of my favorites growing up. Dumb and Dumber is obviously a great comedy as well. And we're actually just going to move right into E's because I don't own a lot of E's. We have Live, Die, Repeat, but Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan, but I remember enjoying that film the first time I watched it. Then we have E.T. the Extraterrestrial. That's just a classic I feel like most people need to own in their collection. I haven't seen it in very long, but look forward to revisiting it. Will Ferrell in Elf. This was one of my favorite Christmas movies growing up. Christmas Vacation has taken that spot, but Elf is still good fun. We have End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. One of the very few films that have actually made me tear up. It's a great buddy cop film. Go into it knowing you might get a little emotional. Then we have The Equalizer and The Equalizer 2. I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet, but Denzel's great in those. Then we have Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Didn't see those till later in life, so the campiness of those, and they're just dumb horror fun. We have The Evil Dead remake, which I enjoyed a lot. Obviously a very gory film, but if you're a horror fan, I feel like you'd like that one. Then we have Ex Machina, which I bought and let sit on my shelf for too long. This was a really good movie. I enjoyed Oscar Isaac in it and Domhnall Gleeson, and then Alicia Vikander was great in it as well. So highly recommend that one if you haven't seen it. On to the F's. Off the F's, we have Face Off with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. It's a fun action movie. Then we have The Faculty with, that's a Robert Rodriguez film. I forgot about that. And then we have Fantastic Beasts and Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald. The second one, I've only seen once, wasn't crazy impressed with it. I know they're coming out with the third one, so we'll see if they can fix that series. We have another Coen Brothers film, Fargo, with Frances McDormand in it. We have Fast and Furious 5, Fast and Furious 6, Hobbs and Shaw. Those are the only 3 Fast and Furious films I own. I'm not a crazy fan of that series, but if you're looking for a dumb, crazy action film, those are the ones to go to. We have Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is fun. 2 of my favorite actors, Denzel Washington and Viola Davis in Fences, which is a really good drama. I enjoyed that one. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. My dog wants some camera time right now. Then we have Field of Dreams, another Kevin Costner sports film. We have Fight Club, which David Fincher, I've seen that one once or twice. That's a classic one. We have The Fighter with Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg. I have not revisited this one since I bought it, but remember liking it the first time I watched it. Then we have Final Destination 2 and Final Destination 5. I like the Final Destination films outside of the fourth one. The first three I have fun with. The fifth one's fine. And I know we're supposed to get a reboot of that movie series, so we'll see how those go. Finding Nemo on Blu-ray, Disney Pixar, and it's in this dumb DVD case, but I don't really own a lot of my favorite Disney Pixar Blu-rays. Just with Disney Plus, even though I don't have Disney Plus, I just haven't gotten around to collecting some of the Disney films I would like to. This is mostly a movie for my girlfriend Flipper with Elijah Wood, who is oddly enough her childhood crush. But it's a cute film. I'll give her credit there. We have The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, David Cronenberg film. Very fun, creepy, body horror. We have Forgetting Sarah Marshall, very good comedy. Love Jason Segel in that. Segel? I don't know. We have The Founder with Michael Keaton. I found that movie very interesting. I just picked this up. We have Forrest Gump with Tom Hanks, which I've never seen all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces. One Disney film I do own is The Fox and the Hound, which was one of my favorites. It does have The Fox and the Hound 2 in there, which I've never seen, but I really enjoyed the first one growing up. Pretty heavy Disney film. We have Fracture with Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling. I remember that being a fun thriller. We have Frailty with Bill Paxton and Matthew McConaughey. This is a movie with a bunch of plot twists. Not to spoil anything, but just a heads up. Recommend that one though. Frequency with Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel. I literally just watched this like 2 nights ago, and if you can make it through the first 30 minutes of it, just because it does seem kind of silly at first, but it does turn into a really good thriller. In the third act of that movie, I thought was awesome, so recommend that film. We have Friday the 13th, the 8-movie collection. I believe I've only seen the first 3 of them, maybe. So I need to binge all those. Then we have a 3-pack of Friday the 13th, Killer Cut, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and Freddy vs. Jason. I really enjoyed the Friday the 13th remake. Freddy vs. Jason is just a fan service, but really fun as well. I've not seen the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, but until I make my way through those other Friday the 13th films, I think this Friday the 13th is my favorite, which might be an unpopular opinion. The other ones are obviously more classic. That one just, I think, gives me a little bit more of what I expect from Jason Voorhees. Then we have The Fugitive with Harrison Ford, which I really enjoyed. I was very late to Harrison Ford films. And then last for the Fs, we have The Funhouse Massacre, which actually has Robert Englund in it. But it's one of those, haunted house, kind of haunted festival films where these crazy lunatics get out and start killing people. So that's one of the fun ones. Let's move on to G's. For G's, we have Game Night with Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams. Really fun comedy. I enjoyed that one. Then we have The Gangster Collection, which has American Gangster, Casino, and Eastern Promises. American Gangster and Casino, I had been wanting to watch and had never seen them, and I just stumbled upon this 3-pack and still need to watch them. And Eastern Promises was actually directed by David Cronenberg, so I look forward to checking all 3 of those out. Jordan Peele's Get Out, which is, everyone knows about that film. It's very enjoyable, very well done. I look forward to seeing his next film. And then we have a 2-pack of Get Smart and Yes Man. I mostly own this for Yes Man because I like Jim Carrey. Get Smart, I think I've seen once, but yeah, definitely like Yes Man a lot more. We have the original Ghostbusters on Steelbook. We have The Gift with Jason Bateman, Rebecca Hall, and Joel Edgerton. Pretty good thriller if you've never seen that one. We have The Girl Next Door with Emile Hirsch and Alicia Cuthbert. That one's a fun comedy. Is it a comedy? I don't know. There's some thriller aspects to it as well. Romance as well. Not necessarily romance as Gladiator with Russell Crowe. Classic. We have Godzilla King of the Monsters. I remember liking this when I first watched it. Couldn't get through Godzilla vs. Kong, but I think I was more in a rush to try to watch that one, so I didn't enjoy it that much. Gone Baby Gone, a film I have not seen yet, but it has Casey Affleck, Michelle Monaghan, Morgan Freeman, and Ed Harris in it, so I think it's safe to say I'll probably like that one. Another David Fincher film, we have Gone Girl. Then we have a comedy, Good Boys, which I saw once, and it was humorous. That's one I plan on rewatching and then kind of deciding if I want to keep that one or not. Good Will Hunting, which is a great one. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. We have The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Clint Eastwood film, which I've been trying to check out more of his filmography lately. That's obviously one of his classic westerns. We have Goodfellas, which is amazing. And we have one of my favorite movies of all time, The Goonies, on 4K. Endlessly rewatchable. We have Goosebumps, which I liked the Goosebumps books and movies growing up, and I had a lot of fun with this movie when it came out. It's very PG, but sometimes you need just a good PG film. We have The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. I expected that one to be a little funnier, but I love both those actors, especially John Candy. So that one's always a good time. We have the Gremlins 2-pack. And then we have The Grey, starring Liam Neeson, which is a pretty underrated thriller. I just bought the Grindhouse double pack with Planet Terror and Death Proof. And then last for the G's is another movie I just bought, and that is The Guest, which I'm excited to watch. This comes from the same creators of You're Next, which you will see later in this collection. So that is it for the G's. Now into H's, which, based on my shirt, we have the recent 4K Scream Factory release of John Carpenter's Halloween. This is easily my favorite movie I own in my entire collection. Halloween is my favorite horror movie of all time. I grew up literally fearing Michael Myers, so absolutely love this. And then we have Halloween 2, which is I love all the Halloween films, so I'm not even going to really give my opinions on most of them. Halloween 3 even I enjoy, even though it kind of goes away from the original storyline. It still has great horror elements in it. Then we have the 2-pack of The Curse of Michael Myers and Halloween H2O. I am in the camp that I enjoy Halloween H2O. That is a very enjoyable film for me. And then we own the double pack of Rob Zombie's take on Halloween, which, say what you want about Rob Zombie. I enjoy the brutality of Michael Myers in these. Obviously, the writing's not that great. The acting's not great at times. But Rob Zombie knows how to make a brutal film. And for that, I enjoy those ones. We have the 2018 remake of Halloween, which I enjoyed. I did not hate it. I think I liked it a little bit more than Halloween Kills, which I do not own yet. I like the story of the 2018 Halloween more so than Halloween Kills, even though the kills in Halloween Kills was, a little bit better. Then we have The Hangover, which was a very popular comedy back when I was in high school. And then we have The Happening, M. Night Shyamalan's best film. No, it is a very bad film, but when you go to watch that film knowing it's bad, it's actually pretty enjoyable. So then we have the Harry Potter 8 film collection. Love all these. Harry Potter's probably my favorite um, movie series collection of all time. Then we have Happy Death Day, which I really enjoyed this one. I was not a fan of the second one as much. They kind of just did the same thing, in my opinion. But Happy Death Day was original. We have The Hateful Eight with Quentin Tarantino. I don't know if people still don't like The Hateful Eight. I remember hearing some people didn't, but I really enjoy that one. We have Haunt, which had Eli Roth help produce this one. This is a fun haunted house film I recommend watching. Heat, which I still have not seen, but have obviously heard great things about. We have Heavyweights with Ben Stiller again doing his thing. The same thing he does in Dodgeball, which he plays just such a great villain. Hell or High Water on 4K, which I enjoy. I enjoy Chris Pine and Ben Foster in that. Jeff Bridges as well. We own Her with Joaquin Phoenix. Interesting film. I need to check that one out again. One of my favorite Disney movies that I do own is Hercules. Ari Aster film Hereditary, which won't spoil anything, but there's some scenes in that movie I did not see coming. Then we have the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, one I enjoyed. The Hills Have Eyes 2, which has some memorable kills in it, but not as good as the first one. Then we have Hit and Run, which is a Dax Shepard film. I enjoyed Dax Shepard in a good amount of movies, and that's one of his better ones. We have a Disney classic, Hocus Pocus, which is always a good time around Halloween. We have The Holiday, which is one of my girlfriend's favorite Christmas films. Then we have the 2-pack of Home Alone, which is great. I can't even pick which one of those I like more. They're both awesome. Then we have Hoosiers with Gene Hackman and Dennis Hopper. Just recently rewatched this, and it's a good basketball film. We have Horrible Bosses, another Jason Bateman film. Jason Sudeikis is in this. Charlie Day. We won't talk about the other ones, but I'm a big Jason Bateman fan. Then we have How the Grinch Stole Christmas in this green case that I really like. Then we have House of Wax, which is another Alicia Cuthbert movie. Chad Michael Murray's also in that one. Not the greatest horror film you'll ever see, but it's pretty fun for my age. We have The Hunger Games, the first one, and then Hunger Games Catching Fire, the second one. Those are the only two I own. I don't know if I'll keep those forever, but they're fun. Then we have The Hurt Locker with Jeremy Renner, a war film I've seen a couple times but need to revisit. And with that, those are the H's. Scratch that. I missed an H in my collection, and that is another war film, Hacksaw Ridge, which Andrew Garfield is great in this film. Directed by Mel Gibson. I really enjoyed it. Now we're on to the I's. Now starting with the I's, and then we'll make our way into the J's as well. We have I Love You Man with Paul Rudd and Jason Segel in it. Really good bromance comedy. We have I Saw the Devil, which is a foreign film that is pretty awesome. If you can get past subtitles, then you would really like that one. I, Tonya, which I just watched the 30 for 30 on Tonya Harding and found it fascinating, so I look forward to seeing that film. In Time with Amanda Seyfried and Justin Timberlake. Very interesting concept in that movie, and something I think probably could get redone, and maybe more people would see that. But that's a pretty good thriller. We have Inception, Christopher Nolan. I still can't wrap my head around how he constructed that film. We own The Incredibles 2. I still don't own the first Incredibles. I have that on DVD, but both of those are great. Then we have Independence Day on Steelbook. We have the Indiana Jones 4 movie collection. I've actually only seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. I still need to watch the rest. Another Tarantino film, Inglourious Bastards, which is a fun time. Disney Pixar Inside Out. I actually really enjoyed that one. I haven't seen it in a while, but I just picked this one up. We have Insomnia, which is Al Pacino and Robin Williams. R.I.P. Robin Williams. I remember seeing that one growing up, so I look forward to revisiting that one. Another Christopher Nolan film, Interstellar. And we have Into the Wild with Emile Hirsch. I remember thinking that one was a good one. And another one I need to check out. We have Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which is a good time. Stephen King's original It, followed by the remakes It and It Chapter 2. Really enjoyed It. It Chapter 2 is still fun. The ending was just kind of lackluster. Then we have It Follows. It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, which I actually didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did. Then we have The Italian Job, Marky Mark. That was a good time. Okay, now into the J's. We have Jingle All the Way, which it's a passable Christmas film. It's always fun seeing Arnold on the big screen. We have Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. Do not own the third one, because that one was awful. Then we have a 3-pack of Chasing Amy, Jay and Bob Strikes Back, and Clerks, all Kevin Smith films. I've seen all of these, and I really enjoyed Jay and Bob Strike Back. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Classic and Jaws. We own the John Wick, all 3 chapters. Great action flicks. Keanu Reeves is amazing. Jojo Rabbit, which was a fun time. The 4K of Joker. Joaquin Phoenix was phenomenal in that. Another Robin Williams film. We have Jumanji. And then we also have the remakes, Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle and Jumanji The Next Level, which I think turned out better than most people thought they would. Juno with Michael Cera and now Elliot Page. This was a fun movie, one from my childhood. And then we own the Jurassic Park movies. Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I know we're supposed to get Jurassic World Dominion, which I saw the trailer for, and I wasn't interested to start, and then they're bringing back all the original cast members, so now I'm kind of excited for it. So okay, now on to the K's. This is actually my girlfriend's. We have The Karate Kid, which I've never been big into the Karate Kid films, but I know they're favorites for most people. We have Shaq and Kazam, which is a childhood favorite of mine. Shaq is obviously a tremendous actor. And then we have Kick-Ass, which is a fun film. I used to own the sequel, but I traded that one in. Then we have Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2. I have not seen either of those, but those are 2 Tarantino films I need to watch. We have The Kingsman, Secret Service. Knives Out, which was a fun time. Kong Skull Island, one I have not seen, but I've heard pretty good things about. We have Krampus, which is a must-watch Christmas film around this house every year. We have A League of Their Own, the Lethal Weapon 4-film collection. We have a vampire film I've never seen, Let Me In. I look forward to checking that one out eventually. And then sort of a spin-off of the Alien series, we have Life, which I have seen. You'd obviously go back to the original Alien films before that one, but that one's a pretty good time. Then we have Lights Out, That was an okay horror film. Very short horror film. We just rewatched that one not too long ago. Limitless with Bradley Cooper. That was one of my favorites in high school. My favorite Disney movie of all time, The Lion King. We have a horror film I just picked up, The Lodge. I don't know too much about this one. I've heard great things and look forward to checking that one out. Then we have Logan, which is my favorite X-Men Wolverine movie. I loved what they did with that one. The kills in that were absolutely brutal. This is definitely a guilty pleasure. We have Looney Tunes back in action. Obviously love Looney Tunes growing up, and then it's got the great Brendan Fraser in there. It's always nice to support Brendan. I just got this, my girlfriend's favorite movies of all time, Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, which comes with Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. So another one my girlfriend introduced me to is The Lost Boys, which is a classic vampire film. And then we have Mad Max Fury Road. As I see, I've already jumped into the M's. Now that I know what the alphabet is, we are on to M's. So we have Major League, really good, funny baseball film. We have Man of Steel, Superman film. DC movies are obviously not everyone's cup of tea, but I enjoy Man of Steel. The Matrix, which is a movie I fell asleep watching for the first time, so I bought it to ensure that I will give it its fair chance. Now we're on to the MCU movies, which I'll just burn through real quick. We have Captain America, the First Avenger, Captain Marvel, First Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, the first Thor, the first Marvel's Avengers, Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 3, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, one of my favorite MCU films. The first Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Captain America, Avengers: Age of Ultron, the first Ant-Man, Civil War, Captain America: Civil War, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Black Panther, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, Doctor Strange, Thor Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame, Spider-Man: Far From Home, Mean Girls, pretty funny comedy, Meet the Fockers, and it's backwards because we have Meet the Parents. Love Meet the Parents. Need to revisit Meet the Fockers. Christopher Nolan film Memento. So another Ari Aster film, Midsommar. Very creepy. A Million Ways to Die in the West, a Seth MacFarlane film, the same guy who did Family Guy. I used to always put this on to fall asleep in college. It is a dumb comedy, but one that can provide a few good laughs. My favorite Stephen King film, and probably most people's, Misery. The only Mission Impossible movie I own is Mission Impossible Fallout. Like I said, I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan, but that one I remember being enjoyable. Great baseball film, Moneyball with Brad Pitt. We have a 2-pack of Mr. Deeds and Big Daddy. Mrs. Doubtfire with Robin Williams. A movie that would be very tough to make nowadays. And then we have the Mummy trilogy with the great Brendan Fraser again. Those are always a good time. And then we have, last for the M's, Mystic River. So now we are on to N's. Now we're going to burn through the N's, O's, and P's, starting with the first National Treasure and National Treasure 2. I would look forward to another National Treasure film if they were to do one. Neighbors with Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. And then we have The Nice Guys, which was a fun first watch. I need to rewatch that one. One of my favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movies, Nightcrawler. A film called Nightmare Beach. The Nightmare Before Christmas, another Tim Burton movie. Then we have the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. I think I've made my way past Dream Warriors. I think I might have watched the fourth one, but I still need to revisit all of those. Nonstop with Liam Neeson. I actually enjoyed that one out of Liam Neeson's action films he likes to throw out there these days. We have the Ocean Trilogy, which I've only seen Ocean's 11. We have Office Christmas Party, another Jason Bateman film. Then we have Old School. We have 1 Hour Photo, which is a Robin Williams film I look forward to watching. Just recently picked that one up. We have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, another Quentin Tarantino film. I really enjoyed that entire movie, especially the third act. Then we have Overlord, which is a really fun J.J. Abrams film. Make sure I go in the right order. We have Paranormal Activity, the first three. I remember being creeped out by those growing up. Okay. Then we have The Patriot, which I've not seen. I know Mel Gibson's probably great in that. I heard Jason Isaacs plays a really good villain, as my dog is being extra right now. Perfect Getaway, one I've owned for a while. The original Pet Sematary, another Stephen King adaptation. Just recently watched that one for the first time and enjoyed it. The first Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, and Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Those might be the only two Pirates of the Caribbean movies I ever own. Going into my favorite film of all time, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Steve Martin and John Candy's connection in that movie is timeless, and I know it's mostly a Thanksgiving film, but I can watch it at any time. Then we have Point Break with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. Then we have Planet of the Apes trilogy, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. We have the original Pokemon 3-movie 3-pack. More movies from my childhood. I haven't watched them in a while, but I enjoy them enough maybe to watch them again. We have the Arrow video release of Pray for Death, which I found for really cheap. It's a kind of a samurai movie. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. Then we have Predators, followed by The Prestige, another Christopher Nolan film, one of his best. Then we have Prisoners, which is a very underrated thriller. If you've not seen it, Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal are great in that, and it ends on a pretty grim note. Prometheus. The only Alfred Hitchcock film I own is Psycho, which, what's a film collection without that one? Then we have Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, which only gets better the more you watch it. And then last but not least for the P's, we have Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness, a film I really enjoy. We're going to burn through these cues as you see my dog's nose. We have Queens of Scream, which has I Know What You Did Last Summer, Vacancy, and When a Stranger Calls, the remake. I enjoyed Vacancy growing up. I Know What You Did Last Summer is a passable horror film to check out every once in a while. And I did not really care for When a Stranger Calls remake. We have the first A Quiet Place and the second Quiet Place on 4K, which I enjoyed both of those. I think in theaters I felt like I liked the second one more than the first one, but upon rewatch I liked the first Quiet Place more. Into the R's we have Ratatouille, a Disney film I've seen once but really enjoyed it. Reanimator from Arrow Video. It's a really great horror film. Ready Player One, which I enjoyed. I did not read the book before I saw that one, so maybe that's why I like it a little bit more. Remember the Titans, classic Disney football film. Another football movie, we have The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman. Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs, which is, everything. I enjoy Tarantino, so really enjoyed that one. We have The Revenant with DiCaprio and Tom Hardy. Only saw that one once. I remember it being really long, so. Then we have Revenge of the Nerds, which I just watched for the first time not too long ago and found it really quirky, pretty good comedy. One I just picked up is The River Wild, which has Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon in it. And not a big Meryl Streep fan. This is the only film of hers I think I own. Enjoy Kevin Bacon, but this is one I really enjoyed when I was growing up. Then we have Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. We have a 3-pack for Rob Zombie films with House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. I've seen House of a Thousand Corpses, which I enjoyed more than The Devil's Rejects, and have yet to see Three from Hell. We have Robin Hood, the Disney film. The original RoboCop, which I think I saw growing up, but just have not seen that one in a while. We have the first Rocky, which that is I like sports films, and I've never seen all the Rockies, so I need to make my way through there. We have the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is a musical I just checked out, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's another one with Tim Curry. We have a Matt Damon and Ed Norton film, Rounders. Really good time with that one. And last for the R's, we have Rudy with Sean Astin. Why did I blank on his name? I actually found this one at the Dollar Tree. This is one of the best Dollar Tree finds I've ever had. So love Rudy. Now we are on to the Massive S collection. We start with Sandlot, childhood classic. We have The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. For some reason, I own Sausage Party on 4K. I think I found it on a good price and pulled the trigger. I actually saw that one in theaters, which was a pretty interesting time. We have Savages, which I actually enjoy. It has Taylor Kirsch, Aaron Johnson, John Travolta, Benicio del Toro, Salma Hayek, and I think I said Blake Lively's in this as well. We have Saving Private Ryan, which is actually one of the few war films I've not seen, just because I have to be in a certain mood to watch war films. We have the Saw 8 film collection. I don't really revisit those too often, but I think those deserve a little bit more credit than they get. Obviously, they fall off a little bit, but we have John Cusack in Say Anything, which was a good rom-com I enjoyed. Scarface with Al Pacino. Into my favorite cartoon of all time, we have Scoob, which, wasn't the greatest Scooby-Doo film or anything like that. Like, they kind of went away from the mystery aspect of it. We have the live-action Scooby-Doo 1 and 2, which are guilty pleasures to say the least. And then we have Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. On to the 3-movie collection of Scream. I don't own the 4th Scream, and I actually have not seen the new Scream yet, but those are always on in my house. David Fincher's Seven, which is a classic. We have Searching, which I really enjoyed the first time I watched this. I don't think I've rewatched it since. I'm not sure if it'll hold up. We have Seven Psychopaths with, I mostly keep this one for Sam Rockwell. I really enjoy Sam Rockwell in all of his films. Then we have Sex Drive, which is a pretty underrated comedy from high school and college days. Then we have The Shallows with Blake Lively, another shark film. Shark Night, another shark film. Very guilty pleasure, but actually comes from the same people who did Final Destination, so good time. We have a 2-pack with The Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile, Frank Darabont films. We have The Shining, Stanley Kubrick. Shooter with Mark Wahlberg. I haven't seen that one in a while. Sicario and Sicario Day of the Soldado. I really like Benicio del Toro. M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. We have Silence of the Lambs, which is always creepy. I just watched this one for the first time last night, Silver Bullet, another Stephen King adaptation. We have Sisters, which is a guilty pleasure comedy. Not usually a big fan of Amy Poehler, but her and Tina Fey are pretty funny on that one, along with Ike Barinholtz. Then we have The Sixth Sense, which is actually an M. Night Shyamalan film I've yet to see. I've seen The Happening, but I haven't seen Sixth Sense, which tell me how that makes sense. But childhood classic, Small Soldiers, Always love that one. We have Snowpiercer. We have A Social Network. We have Sonic the Hedgehog. This one was okay. I enjoyed Jim Carrey's part in it, especially. A guilty horror pleasure, we have Sorority Row. We have Source Code, another Jake Gyllenhaal film. Followed by another Jake Gyllenhaal film, Southpaw, one where he just turns into a complete badass. Enjoy that one. One of my childhood favorites, we have Space Jam on Steelbook. Wasn't a huge fan of the LeBron James Space Jam, but my expectations were already low with that one. We have Keanu Reeves in Speed. Onto the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. All great. The third one even has its moments, but I love Spider-Man. So, followed by Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which everyone loved that one. Then we are on to SpongeBob, the 2-movie collection. Mostly bought it for this one. Haven't gone back to revisit that one, but I loved SpongeBob growing up. We have Spotlight, which is a heavy loaded cast. Then we have Stand By Me, one that I didn't watch for the longest time but really enjoyed. A Star is Born. I think Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga's relationship and chemistry in that movie was great. Then we have Star Wars, the complete saga with Phantom Menace, A New Hope, Attack of the Clones, The Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, and Return of the Jedi. Followed by Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, not the Skywalker, Rogue One, and Solo. Not the biggest Star Wars films, but I enjoy revisiting those from time to time. We have comedy classics, Step Brothers. Stir of Echoes, which I just checked out for the first time not too long ago, with Kevin Bacon. That was a really good film. Straight Outta Compton. I like hip hop, so I watched that one once. We have The Strangers, one of the more popular home invasion horror flicks, followed by its sequel, The Strangers Prey at Night, which, upon rewatch, I think I might like this one more. It has one of the most effective jump scares in it, especially, and I like where it takes place at a trailer park. Then we have Super 8, which, as a Stranger Things fan, this is the closest thing to Stranger Things, so I recommend that one. Super Troopers, another comedy. We have Superbad, another comedy I loved growing up. Moving on to Suspiria, the remake. So I just recently purchased this because I remember the first time I watched this, and the end of this movie messed me up. One of the most messed up endings I have ever seen. But I bought it just to put myself through that again. So trying to expand my horror collection. And then we have Swingers with Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau. I really enjoyed this one. That's all the S's. Right, now on to T's. We have Taken. Didn't really care for the sequels that much, but then we have Talladega Nights. Love me some Disney Tarzan, one of my favorites. We have Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro, great film. We have the first Ted and the second Ted. Pretty passable comedies, but I haven't actually watched those in a while. We have a 2-pack of Terminator Genesis, which I've never seen, but over here we have the original Terminator with Arnold. We have Terminator 2 Judgment Day, is one of the greatest action movies of all time. Terminator Salvation. And then we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one. I just watched this for the first time not too long ago, and the backstory to how that film was made is pretty incredible. And the one that just came out on Netflix was okay. We do have Texas Chainsaw The Beginning and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one with Jessica Biel, which I feel like is how most people label that one, but Um, Both of those are good. Obviously, the beginning is way more for gore factor. Um, then we have There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a long film, but a very effective one, very good. John Carpenter's The Thing, timeless. I mean, it's a horror classic. The remake, like most people say, would have been better had they used practical effects over CGI. Things We Lost in the Fire. So I bought this on a whim one time because I was really into this show called Californication, which stars David Duchovny. And this has David Duchovny, but also has Halle Berry and Benicio del Toro. And it's a pretty good drama about getting over a heroin addiction. So then we have Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which I love. Frances McDormand's in that. Sam Rockwell's great. My dogs will probably start making noise back there. The original Transformers with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. That's the first one. I enjoyed the first Transformers. Tommy Boy, classic. Dogs are barking. Sorry. But rest in peace, Chris Farley. David Spade's great in that as well. Then we have Top Gun, which I bought because, everyone seems to love Top Gun. I watched it. It was okay. I'm definitely going to rewatch it again, but that one might fall in the overrated category for me one day. We have Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of his best. The Town, which was great. I feel like most people appreciate that one, which they should. The Toy Story 3-pack. Some of Disney Pixar's best, and impossible to rank. I mean, why would you ever even want to rank those? They're all phenomenal. Even Toy Story 4 was good. Not as good as the first three, but still a good film. We have Training Day with Denzel and Ethan Hawke, one of both of their best films. One I just recently picked up, we have Trick or Treat, the anthology horror film that has a pretty big following. It's very seasonal. Like, if you watch this around Halloween, it definitely puts you in the mood. And there's a lot of iconic scenes I remember from that one. We have Trouble with the Curve. Trouble with the Curve, what is this, driving school? Trouble with the Curve, baseball film with Clint Eastwood, Amy Adams, and Justin Timberlake. I remember enjoying that one. I've been meaning to revisit it, though. One of my favorites from my childhood was Troy. Yeah, it probably doesn't hold up as good as it once did, but still one I enjoy. We have True Romance with Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette. Quentin Tarantino wrote the script for this film. Didn't direct it, but Christopher Walken's also in that. I mean, absolutely loaded cast. Brad Pitt plays like a burnout that just sits on the couch the entire time. Highly recommend that one. We have The Truman Show, another Jim Carrey film. I haven't seen it in forever, but you can't ever go wrong with Jim Carrey. We have Turbo Kid, which during college I watched this on Netflix and really enjoyed it. So I went to Amazon and bought it from the UK. And that is when I learned about region codes and region locks. So I've never been able to watch this film because I do not own a region-free Blu-ray player. Kevin Smith's horror film, Tusk, another A24 film with Justin Long in it, Haley Joel Osment. I still have yet to see this. I know parts of it. I've heard of parts of it. And look forward to checking that one out eventually. And then last for the tease, we have Bill Paxton in Twister, along with Helen Hunt, right? Yeah, Helen Hunt. Those are the T's. Now we're going to go through the rest of the alphabet, including my numbers. Starting with Uncle Buck and Fletch. I mostly own this for Uncle Buck. This might be my second favorite John Candy film behind Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. A very high-strung movie. I've only been able to make it through once. Up, another Disney Pixar film. Then we have Jordan Peele's second film, Us, which I enjoyed. Guilty pleasure, Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale, but damn do I love this movie. Guilty pleasure from growing up, Venom. a Louisiana-style horror film. I love the concept of how the killer comes in this film, but then the execution after that kind of falls off. But I still enjoy it every once in a while. We have Vibes. This was a fun movie. I enjoyed both of these actors' chemistry on screen. And Cyndi Lauper obviously does the main song in the Goonies, so I love her for that. And then Jeff Goldblum is just, he's an easy guy to root for. I love him in everything he's in. We have Waiting with Ryan Reynolds. And as somebody who's worked in the food industry for a while, I can attest I've never seen anything like this happen, but it is a ride. We'll just say that. Then we go to War Dogs with Jonah Hill and Miles Teller. I've seen it once. I need to revisit that one. Warrior, which Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, and Nick Nolte. A sports film every sports fan needs to see. It is right up there with some of the best. We have Kevin Costner in Waterworld, a guilty pleasure. I know a lot of people don't love that movie, but it's one my dad and I used to enjoy growing up. Ben Affleck in The Way Back, basketball film I enjoyed. We have The Way Back with Sam Rockwell again. Then we have The Wedding Crashers with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, classic. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? We have Weird Science, another John Hughes film. I need to revisit that one. I don't know if I made it through the first time. Whiplash with Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. Incredible. I remember renting that on demand one night randomly. We have White Men Can't Jump with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. Good con man basketball film. I own Widows. I've only seen it once, but I obviously love Viola Davis. Yeah, Liam Neeson in this as well. Michelle Rodriguez is also in here. Really good cast. I need to revisit that one. Into the final stack, we have Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Then we have Wind River with Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. I enjoyed this film. I don't remember much of it, but I liked it because obviously both of them are in the MCU. Without a Paddle, a guilty pleasure. Love the cast of Seth Green, Matthew Lillard, and Dax Shepard. I think they're all great, and it's a feel-good film. And then we have The Wizard of Oz, classic. It's crazy how easy that film is still to watch. The Wolf of Wall Street, I have only seen it once or twice, which is the theme for a lot of these movies. But a lot of these films I just can't wait to go back and rewatch. We have Wonder on 4K. I've never seen it. I bought that when the family videos were going out of business. But I've heard good things. One of the few DC films I own is Wonder Woman. I love Gal Gadot in that role. I think she is a perfect Wonder Woman. We have World War Z with Brad Pitt, a zombie film that I always wish they came out with a sequel after that one. I felt like it always ended kind of abruptly. Then we have Wreck-It Ralph, a very pleasant surprise. I have not seen Ralph Breaks the Internet yet. The Wrestler with, what's his name? Mickey Rourke. I've heard great things about this. I have not seen it yet. Now on to, I own all 5 of the original Wrong Turns. None of these are really great by any stretch of the imagination, but they are entertaining. And I own those first 5. The first one has Eliza Dushku in it. I told you I'm bad at pronouncing names. That one was okay, but after that it just kind of slowly goes downhill. Including Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort. I'm a completionist and needed that one. And then we had the recent Wrong Turn remake that pretty polarizing. You know, I'm not sure many people enjoyed the route they took with that new one, but there's some good kills. We have the only X-Men film I own outside of Logan, and that is X-Men First Class. I really liked Michael Fassbender. And we have You're Next, one of the best final girls in this film. Highly recommended if you've never seen that horror film. I also own Zack and Miri Make a Porno. I liked Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks in this. It's a very raunchy comedy. Then we have Zoolander on Steelbook. One I've never been super big into, but Ben Stiller, Will Ferrell, Owen Wilson. Um, great comedy. My girlfriend really likes that one. And last, for the letters, we have, not for the letters actually, I think we have one more. Zootopia, which you guessed it, Jason Bateman voices the fox in this. And I actually really enjoyed that one. Now we have Zombieland, which is classic. I don't know, I shouldn't say classic, but it's one of the more popular zombie films. I liked Double Tap. I felt like it was kind of pointless to make a sequel, but this original one was really good. Woody Harrelson's great in that. Then we have The Numbers. We have 10 Things I Hate About You. Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, great in that. We have 1408, another Stephen King adaptation. Just recently watched this, and it was enjoyable. Not the greatest thing, but more zombie movies. We have 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. I think I've just seen 28 Days Later. Cillian Murphy's in that one. Need to revisit those. We have 3:10 to Yuma. I've seen it once. Russell Crowe and Christian Bale, Western. We have 8 Mile with Eminem. I love Eminem. And then we have 30 Days of Night, zombie film I've not seen in forever. So that is my entire movie collection, and my mouth is dry now, and I appreciate those of you that sat through this entire video. Hopefully you learned about a movie or two that you eventually want to check out. If there's any movies I'm missing in my collection, comment below and let me know what I should check out. And until then, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.